Too much clicking. We've got so much excitement here for our 20th. Hello, hello, hello. I am Amrit B. I'm your host with Hustle and Hospitality. I just cannot contain my excitement here. We have made it not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5 months. 5 months we are here. Never would I have imagined when we started this back in March that we would still be here and going strong for our 20th. We would not be able to do this without your support. So thank you so much. We appreciate those who are joining us for their first time. But if it isn't, drop a comment below. Let us know how many weeks you've been watching. We know we have some fans from all over, but I'll give you a quick scoop of how this works. First and foremost, we will be here celebrating the good that is going on in the world. We love the outdoors, and we're thrilled that you could join us here. We are in August, which means that it is National Wellness Month. If you haven't been following us all this month, we have been highlighting some unique individuals that are showcasing meditation we've had. We've talked about just a whole slew of different things. And so every tie-in this month has something to do with wellness. It is also National Golf Month. So we've got some real wonderful and unique young guests to share a little bit about that today. As you may know, if you guys are just catching up, we bought this baby behind us. Miss Nirvana will be sharing the state of Nirvana and getting everybody excited about kind of taking our show on the road. But every 5 minutes, we're going to have a new guest. So for the next hour, we appreciate you all sticking with us and engaging with us and joining us through this. But I would be remiss if I didn't take a look back after 20 episodes and let's just see how far we've come. Has it really been 20? It absolutely have, and I couldn't be more proud of our team, and special thanks to all of our guests. But let's take a glance. So 20 shows. Now 5 months, you'd think that we would have had some changes and prospered a little bit and absolutely increased our audience, number of bells and whistles and production environment that you guys saw in the time lapse as we got set up here. So let's just take a look at maybe a little bit different if you guys joined us back in May, back in March, April, and May. We were camped out in the backyard. I wanted to welcome you all. Happy Friday. Happy World Party Day. If you don't know what that is, oh boy, are you in for a treat. This is our second week, actually, that back in the backyard. We killed the grass. Every week we would end with a bonfire. So things have changed a little bit here, but we wouldn't be here, as I mentioned, without many of the guests that started off that very first week. We're going to open up, folks, with the very first guest that we put on Camp Quarantine, and that is all the way out in Los Angeles, California, Mr. Mike Jed. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, Amrit?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you believe it's been 5 months almost since you were on our very first episode?
Time has flown. That's pretty wild to think about. It
Now,
felt like
last time you joined with your girlfriend, I understand that she's not here with you today, but I said we had to have some sort of tie, but we're going to begin and end with people who started out with us 20 weeks ago. Actually, a few more weeks ago, we stopped and took a breather after our first 10 episodes, as you saw there, a little bit of time lapse. But talk to us, Mike. It's National Wellness Month. You know why I've brought you here. That's because you are our Acro Jedi. Share with us a little bit about, kind of what Acro is. And I know we've got a clip here for us.
Acro Yoga is a mix of acrobatics and yoga. Really, it's just, finding another human and playing with them in really weird ways. That's fun. And that fun is beneficial for the health and the smiles and all that good stuff.
Now, Acro Yoga, we're going to show a clip, I guess, from our first episode, because why not? Come on, we've come so far. It only makes sense that you got to look back and see how far you've really come. But I'd love to keep you on board. We're going to have, let's just take a visit back. Mike, is that cool? I know Kendra's not with you, but if you want to narrate it while there, we'll leave the mic on. But here's Mike and Kendra from week one.
This is my girlfriend, Kendra.
Hi, guys.
We do Acro Yoga, and so we're going to show you a couple cool Acro Yoga poses that you can do at home if you have a quarantine partner.
So that was a little bit there. I guess we didn't have the full clip, but share with us a little bit more about, I guess, what Acro Yoga is, and I'll see if I can't. No. I've got a little bit more, but talk for a little while, if you would, please, about, I guess, what wellness means to you, and certainly ways that people can use not only just yoga, but your background during this time and how beneficial that can be.
Yeah, so I think actually it's so long ago I barely remember what we shared on that clip, but I hope you guys, knowing me, is probably some therapeutic poses that we're really focused on, kind of stretching out the back and just connecting with your partner and doing things like that in the time when we were all holed up in our houses, which we kind of still are, but it looks like you got the van. I went and lived on a road trip for a couple of months. I just got back a couple of days ago. So doesn't feel like we're really quite as holed up as we were, but the poses that we went through were still be very, very beneficial if you're able to share them. So I guess I'll keep going, but he's loading up some clips. So Acro Yoga is a big part of it is connection and connecting with another human being. Looks like he might be about to load it up. Nope, not yet. And connect with another human being, and while a lot of Acro Yogis go out and meet in parks and everybody plays with everybody, and that's how you really learn in this time when we're there's a bunch of stranger danger and we're not all interacting with each other. And especially, back in March when we did that first video, that was very, very apparent. We had chances to work deeper with certain partners. You got everything loaded up, Amrit?
It is still loading in here. We were hoping that we'd have you live, but no worries. We're going to show that one in just a bit. But I did hear what you said, and I absolutely agree. We're just gonna go back right to that, if that's all right.
I'm Mike. Yeah, let's do it. This is my girlfriend Kendra.
Hi guys.
We do acro yoga, and so we're going to show you a couple cool acro yoga poses that you can do at home if you have a quarantine partner. And we're specifically choosing ones that are therapeutic today. So these are going to be really, really good for the people who are sitting at home, hunched over, working on your computer. Maybe not as good of a standing desk as you might have in the office. These are also good if you are camping and hiking, and after a long hike, it's very decompressing for the spine. You ready, babe?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Can you hear us okay over here?
Yep.
So I'm putting a mat under my back. You can use a yoga mat. You know, anything that's just a little bit softer than a hard floor. So I lay my back and then pick my feet up to 90. And they should go right around to the flyer's waist. Then I'm going to turn. So you can notice how my legs come up 90, and then there's a 90-degree at my knees. Then I turn my feet out, and they should go right along the flyer's hips. So Kendra's the flyer, I'm the base. And you can tell if you're in the right space just by having the flyer bend forward a little bit. And my feet should be right where she starts to bend forward. So now I keep pushing there. She bends forward, and I dig her hand for safety, but we'll actually skip her hand and come down until I get to her shoulders. But as soon as I feel her shoulders, I'm going to rock my legs back. So I'm not even extending, I'm just rocking back and then pushing straight. Once you get your legs straight, this pose becomes very easy. You can release the shoulders. If I'm a little bit too far that way, it's hard. Too far this way, it's hard. But it's called bone stacking. So all her weight, she could fly me as long as her legs are straight. And so just this simple pose right here is really decompressing for the spine. And so you can sit in this pose for 2 or 3 minutes. Kendra, how does it feel?
That feels great. Stretchy.
Yeah, the main thing to think of as the flyer just relaxes her upper body and keeps her legs heavy. So her legs being heavy gives me the shelf that allows me to really hold her. Makes her really nice and safe. And then if you want to take, there's lots of things you can do from here. I'll just show one. So you take the flyer's hands and she interlocks her fingers behind my neck, keeping her legs heavy. I then use my feet to stretch her away. So I push away with my straight legs and we breathe together. The flyer even looks at me. So deep breath in and then exhale. How does that feel?
That feels great. I got a couple cracks up. It's nice.
And then when you're ready to come out of this, take the flyer's hands and just start to push her upper body up as you let her feet come to the ground. So that's move number 1. Move number 2, flyer stands behind the base. Her heels should be right around the top of my head. And I grab onto her ankles. And then I look how I get my back off the ground because I'm reaching up as high as I can. So I get her upper back, and then I touch her on my toes, and she starts to lean into that. A little bit of a trust thing there. And as she starts to lean, I take her weight, and I push up with my hands. And so here, you'll actually go past 90 degrees with the legs, because if we're at 90, her weight's still behind my head. Here, her weight isn't actually on my feet. It's between my feet and my hands. So come just forward until a comfortable spot, legs straight, arms straight, and nice.
So I just wanted to share a couple of the moves, but talk to us a little bit about that. What does that make you feel afterwards? How did you get into it? From a wellness standpoint, that's very supportive on your back. Obviously, you mentioned a soft surface. How often are you doing it? Share a little bit more about that if you would. Now that folks understand in the flesh what acro yoga is.
Yeah, those are 2 great poses. pretty easy if you want to try them at home. I don't know if you're able to get a recording of the video or not, but it's also easy to look them up. And those poses are very restorative for the flyer. So I'm the base, I'm person on the bottom, and that's almost like me giving the flyer a massage, except the fact that she's upside down and backwards and yada yada yada. But same kind of element of giving and connecting with another human being, with the addition of a little bit of extra trust on the flyer side. But when the flyer can really relax and trust, those poses are just feels like you're floating and getting a massage at the same time.
Pretty incredible. So if you guys want to catch more of that clip or follow Mike, we have clips on our YouTube of week 1. You will find Mike and Kendra with their full, acro routine from week 1. But thank you so much for joining us again and being part of our 20th episode. And how can folks find you?
Yeah, Instagram, Acro Jedi. Last name.
Love it. Well, be safe out there. Enjoy your time in sunny Los Angeles. Mike, we appreciate you being a part over here. It has started to pour, so we are not out showcasing the van quite in the same way that we normally would, but we've been in the garage, so I think it's very appropriate. But we're just going to keep it going. Like I said, every 5 minutes we've got a new guest. But why are we doing this? That's part of the reason I'd love to share a little bit about Charity Miles. Charity Miles is the organization that we have chosen for the month of August because we are talking all about wellness. And I'll let the founder chat a little bit more about what it is.
Hi, I'm Gene. I'm the founder of Charity Miles. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I want to share with you a little secret about Charity Miles that, frankly, I didn't fully understand until very recently. I started Charity Miles back in 2012 in honor of my grandfather who had Parkinson's disease. And I wanted to take all the walking and the running that I was going to do anyway and turn it into money for Parkinson's research. Now, when you ask people what they love most about Charity Miles, they'll often say something like, well, I was going to walk or run anyway, or I was going to bike anyway. I figured I should do it for charity. And I love this because that's why I started the app. But I've also come to learn that anyway is broken. Anyway is broken. 40% of our country, the United States, is obese. 80% of our country is in debt. 70% of our country is unhappy. If we continue to just do what we were going to do anyway, then what's going to change? Nothing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We have to do what we weren't going to do anyway. We have to go the extra mile, and that is the secret. That is what I've learned that Charity Miles is about. We are the people that go the extra mile. You didn't have to download this app, but you did. You went the extra mile. And for that, I am eternally grateful, and I am so honored to welcome you to our community. Below this video, there are some links to some resources that will help you get set up, answer any questions you have, get you set up on the road for success, help you raise a lot of money for your charity. And I hope that you will join us on Facebook and our Facebook group. Hit us up on Strava, hit us up on Instagram, check out our podcast. This is a very special community. And it is now even more special because you're in it. So thank you for joining us. Every mile matters. Bye.
So a little bit more about Charity Miles, our August charity that we have selected. For the last 5 months, we have been selecting one charity to feature and encouraging people to donate. That is the reason for our stream. But for those of you who are asking, hey, I can't donate financially, things like that. Well, you guys are walking around, you're biking around. We know you like to hike and be outdoors. Go ahead, download the Charity Miles app on here. And it's very simple, doing things that you're already doing, and they donate directly to a charity of your choosing. So we'll continue to be able to, right over there, keep monitoring and keep plugging Charity Miles over there. But that's the reason for Camp Quarantine, because we are absolutely philanthropic individuals along with all of our guests here. So we'll show you a little bit more on how to use that app. But next, I'd like to continue on, and we have a individual that we'd love to spotlight here in Atlanta itself, Ms. Dara Patel. Dara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Where are you? I'm doing great. Happy Friday. Where are you joining us from?
Friday. I'm joining from Alpharetta, Georgia, at my parents' house. Moved right back, just like all the other millennials when COVID hit.
Fantastic. Now, you and I have never met before, but I saw your post on a group from our, I guess, our alumni, our mutual alumni organization, and I'm just going to give you the floor. Share a little bit about why I've brought you on and the wonderful things that you're doing.
Definitely. So I started an Atlanta chapter of a volunteer group and nonprofit called Invisible Hands. And the main purpose of Invisible Hands is to provide grocery and essentials deliveries for people who are at risk, people who are older, things like that, who maybe don't feel as comfortable going into the grocery store, going into the pharmacy to go pick up their, their food or their meds or whatever it may be. And so we're really trying to corral people around Atlanta who are able to do those things to come and lend a hand, help out their neighbor, and then pick up those groceries or meds for their neighbor. So our website is invisiblehands.org. You can volunteer if you're in the Atlanta area and you're getting groceries and you'd like to help out, or you can even volunteer remotely. You don't even have to be in Atlanta. We definitely need people to field calls. I think we all know that, maybe older people don't feel as comfortable texting in, so maybe they'll probably call. So we're trying to start up a call center and things like that. And of course, we need somebody to help manage logistics because it obviously takes some amount of effort to coordinate all these grocery deliveries.
So hang on, you basically, what led you to do this? I mean, that's first off, absolutely admirable, commendable, but what led you to start this or have the desire to start this and kind of see it through? Do you have a long-standing relationship with Invisible Hands?
Kind of, sort of. So I actually normally live in New York when it's not COVID times. And so even as COVID first hit, it was something that I had actually really thought of. I realized people won't be able to go get groceries as they normally would if they're at risk or they're too scared to go out. And so I had signed up to be a volunteer with Invisible Hands back when I was living in New York. And then shortly after that, I ended up coming home to Atlanta. So obviously couldn't do any groceries or anything like that at that point. But I did reach out and I said, I would love to start this in Atlanta. And so thankfully, I think the main Invisible Hands body got to the point where they're ready to tackle on another city. And as we all know, unfortunately, rates in Georgia are rising really fast. And so it felt like a really good time to introduce Invisible Hands to Atlanta and start helping, everybody in Atlanta who is now starting to not feel safe going to grocery stores, which unfortunately is a reality for a lot of people these days. Okay. I'll keep talking, I guess. So that's basically why we decided to start it. And I think the big thing that we're hoping for with Invisible Hands, especially with the Atlanta chapter, is that not only can we provide grocery deliveries for people who need them in areas where I may be living, which is in the suburbs, but also people who are, ITP, who are in the perimeter. And so we're really hoping to be able to broaden out the number of volunteers that we have to help us provide these grocery deliveries. I kind of think of it as if you as a person just got groceries for one other neighbor, if everyone did that, obviously 50% of our population is not at risk or elderly. So if everybody did that for just one person, we would be able to, provide and help out everyone who's within this pool of people who's too scared to go outside of their house. So I think that's kind of the overarching theme, just help one person out through Invisible Hands. And I'm sure that'll ultimately end up making a really big difference. So yeah, that's it.
So I've got on here the website. Is that now just for the folks here in Atlanta that are able to do it, or this is across the country and it'll just kind of route to the individual chapters? Is that right?
Yeah, so if you just scroll up to the top, or even there is find ways to volunteer. Yep, and it volunteer with us.
So you're currently looking for folks throughout the area that are also looking with vehicles and things like that too. How do folks that want to volunteer get involved? Do they just go to this site, or can they contact you directly?
No, literally the page that I just led you to. So the website that you're on is our website, which is invisiblehandsdeliver.org. And I led you to our volunteer sign up form. And so this is where somebody would go if they wanted to sign up and volunteer, and they can just select the Atlanta chapter. If you are, an at-risk or elderly person who's too scared to go to the grocery store and you're listening in, at the very top, I think you saw it. It was a request a delivery button, and you are totally free to go to request a delivery that way. And either I'll try to do it myself if we can't find somebody local to you, or we'll hopefully find somebody a little bit closer to wherever it is that your home is to help find somebody to help deliver groceries or essentials to you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being the local hero that you are and encouraging folks. I hope more people get to sign up and volunteer. It's a wonderful, wonderful cause. But I hope you stay safe and enjoy your weekend and enjoy your time back at home with your family and your parents as well. So thank you so much, Zara. All right, we're just rolling right along. What a wonderful individual, right? So I wanted to thank you guys all for being a part. If you are just joining us again, this is National Wellness Month, so we are talking about all things wellness. But for those that don't know, it also happens to be National Sandwich Month. Well, it would be remiss if we didn't do a joke, so I've got a terrible joke for you, but maybe we can try it here. My decision earlier to order a veggie sandwich was a mistake. Let that settle. Come on. It's difficult when we don't have a live audience. Well, I hope our next person will be more intriguing than my terrible dad jokes. I just chatted with this wonderful young lady from Boston, Massachusetts, Miss Sophie Hill. Sophie, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Can you hear us? Sophie, can you do me a favor? Do you mind rotating your camera just so everybody can see that you're in your car and on the road and enjoying all of that? Love it. Well, I'm going to let you just chat yourself about how we met and why I thought to bring you aboard today.
Yeah, well, we just met today and spoke because I'm reporting for the Christian Science Monitor right now, which is a Pulitzer Prize-winning paper in Boston, based in Boston. And I'm working on a story about van life and kind of the resurgence of van life. And it just turns out that a ton of people are buying and building Sprinter vans right now. So we connected through a Facebook group for Sprinter van owners, people interested in Sprinter vans. And we're speaking about that, which was really fun and exciting. I'm enjoying this story and living vicariously through everyone I've been interviewing. Yeah.
So for those who aren't familiar, can you talk a little bit about the CSM and I guess more about your background?
Sure. It's a global paper, but it's based in Boston. So that's where most of the editors and reporters are, but then there are bureaus around the country and there's a DC bureau, obviously politics, and then around the country and a couple around the world. So the Monitor there is some breaking news, but largely the Monitor does kind of analysis and kind of feature stories. So yeah, and I am currently a student. So I
did not know that.
Yeah. So I am hoping to be at the Monitor. I'm really enjoying this time at the Monitor and enjoying the stories that I'm writing for them right now. So yeah.
Well, I brought you on board today also because I wanted to make an introduction. I wanted to introduce you to an individual who may be the newest van lifer. Let me see if we can't get him back. I know he's with his daughter right now, and we're trying to get him going.
Yeah, and
he said she is. This is the beauty of live. See, we are. We're gonna have to, I guess, make that introduction. Let me see if we can't get him back. Maybe we'll get him a little bit later. But I love what you're doing with the van lifers and really enjoyed our conversation today. How can folks follow along with you, Sophie?
My Instagram is right there. It's at Once Upon a Hills. So I post some of the stories I'm working on, and you can definitely, if anyone is interested in talking about vans, just direct message me there, and we can connect that way. It's probably the easiest way.
Well, we're going to see if we can't get Mr. Tim back on in I guess a future episode when his daughter is able to be napping properly. But I'd be remiss if I didn't even just tease it out. And this is the Van Lifer's newest member. I know his build has been making the circuit for many people, and that is because Tim Almeida is in Boston as well, and he has turned his barber shop on the road. So Tim Almeida, we will hopefully get on there, but he has built it out with his entire barbershop, and he talks solar and things like that, all coming up in a future episode. But we'll be sure to connect you guys offline here, and I apologize that we weren't able to do so here. But Sophie, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to keeping tabs with you and seeing what piece you're able to bring out here real soon. All right. Well, like I mentioned, it is National Wellness Month, and the reason we are doing this stream is because we want to showcase all the wonderful things in the world and things that are going on. Oh, wait, are we able to get him? Nope. We have our next guest, though, who is also building something out. May not be a van per se, but we will see. People just keep falling off. Wonder if it's the rain or why folks are falling away today, but we can keep things going right along. We chat a little bit about it being back to school month. How many of our individuals here had kids or are homeschooling? It is one of the more difficult things to do, but perhaps not so difficult if you are like this kid. That is one way to collect information and learn. But for many people, it's more about not necessarily schooling at home and collecting materials, but perhaps working from home. And this is quite another way to do. Wonderful, luxurious backyard. Our next guest, we are going to head out to the West Coast on Pacific time, Mr. Tank. Tank, how are you doing, man? Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Temecula area right now in California.
Good deal, man. We haven't seen each other in person in quite some time, but I brought you on board today because you have been working on a very unique build that has not been on 4 wheels. It's been 4 walls. You want to talk to us a little bit about some of the construction that's been going on around you?
Yeah. So basically, before the pandemic started, I was in a 1-bedroom apartment, really confined in the Bay Area, working as an engineer. I was staying pretty active at the time, but then the pandemic hit. And I had nowhere to work out anymore, nowhere to play sports or do any of that. So I decided to pull the trigger on something I've been wanting to do for a while, which was get my own place and start building my own gym. So I can start showing you the initial stages of the gym. You see, I got the rubber flooring. I got all of my equipment laid out here. It's going to be like a cable weighted press machine down there.
Very much so in line with our wellness thematic for the month, huh?
Yep. So then that's just the beginning, because if you look at my backyard, it used to be a garden. I don't know if you can show them the pictures of what it looked like before.
I certainly can. So this is a pile of looks like a lot of work that's gone on. Certainly, you purchased this spot, but now we can see the before, and hopefully you'll be able to show us the after. It looks like.
Yeah, can you see that?
There
wow. We go.
And he's got a basketball court, so full on with the wellness.
Yep. So I guess
now, what was the most difficult thing about this build? I know you've put in a lot of time and work. How many weeks has it been difficult having contractors in and out during COVID and things like that? How's that gone?
Actually, it wasn't bad because the guys that I hired were actually really good. It took them about 8 days to get it all done. They tore out the entire grass area. There used to be a tree over there. This whole area is on a slant as well, so that's why there's like a step to get onto the court. And there used to be a whole garden over there. There was like tomatoes, squash, I think some sort of like lettuce plant in there. But I have to get rid of that because I can't. There's no way I'd be able to. A quick shot while we're live.
You're gonna one-handed shot this for us?
Oh yeah.
You better make it, Tank.
Are you ready? Ah! Thought it was gonna go in.
Well, we couldn't see the rim, so let's just say that went in. But Tank, now what's the next part of the build? Now this excites me the most.
Well, for this part, I think I just need to like paint this in some color, right? Probably put down.
But
I'm sorry.
I said, but you've got something coming on the top of the house. I understand it, right?
Oh, right. So yeah, these guys were here actually earlier today, and they're finished. I don't think I can show it to you because it's not on this side. But I just installed the solar panels all across my roof, and that's going to be really good because in the California sun, those things are super efficient. Save a lot of money in the long run, save the environment as well. So excited about that.
So we are going to have to be putting solar on top of our van. So is there anything that you learned? What I know we're going to chat a lot more about that in upcoming weeks in our episodes 21 and probably 22 as we get solar on this girl over here. But what do you know? Can you share the difference? Do you know the difference between the mono and the poly different paneling?
I'm not an expert on this. All I know is like make sure you get just enough kilowatts for your needs and not more.
Well, Tank, we appreciate you being here. Love the house. Love what you did with it. Let's take a look one more time at that before and after, if you don't mind just staying there for a second while we can share. That is quite a bit of progress. And now, how long did it take for that whole like area to develop?
It was like 8 days.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Well, stay cool. I hope you enjoy your new solar. Stay safe. It was so good to connect with you again. How can folks find you and stay abreast with all your happenings and what's going on in your world?
You can just find me on Instagram, Tank Studios. I post a bunch of random stuff, not just construction and backyard, but pretty much anything.
I love it. Look at that finalized thing, and also, of course, the meal there in the back. Well,
oh, yeah.
Save us a slice
that thing right here
of whatever you're making up, and I hope when this baby is done behind me, I will have to come out and see it firsthand. But always good to see you, Tank. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your weekend. All right, we're going to continue right along. Again, don't forget, folks, the reason for the season and reminder, we are here because we are raising money for Charity Miles. Charity Miles, well, it's an app, but if you are a little tepid still, all right, charitymiles.org is one way that you can donate. You get to select whatever charity you desire. All right, we are coming up on sharing a little bit more about this Nirvana, but as we talk wellness, one thing I did not mention is another way to stay in shape is the wonderful game of golf. Well, golf is actually August is actually National Golf Month as well. So because we mentioned that we are doing a whole tie-in between week 1 and week 20, I thought it only fitting we could bring somebody back who made an appearance on our first episode. But today, he's going to chat about golf. Guys, put your hands together. Give a warm welcome to Mr. Tyson Ortiz out in San Diego, California. Tyson?
Hi, my name is Tyson Ortiz.
Where are you from?
I'm from Oceanside, California.
How old are you?
I'm 7 years old.
What are your favorite sports to play?
My favorite sports to play are soccer, baseball, basketball, and golf.
What's your favorite part about golf?
My favorite part about golf is hitting the ball.
And what's the best part of your golf game?
My best part of the golf game is hitting the ball. Now I'm going to show you how to hit a golf ball. So you set it up, line it up, keep your arm straight and keep your eye on the ball. Then you shoot back and then forward.
What a champ.
Like that.
Happy golf month to you all from San Diego, from Atlanta, from coast to coast. If you enjoy playing golf, drop a comment below. We've got a special golf prize for anyone who wants to participate. We have some tee off discounts for you to encourage to go play as a guest of Camp Quarantine. So drop the comments below. We appreciate all that. Shoot us a DM. Again, you're welcome to. We encourage everybody to donate to patreon.com/campq. We have plenty of more footage of Nirvana behind us, along with all of our codes and discounts with our partners that we are working with. But hey, I mentioned Tyson was somebody who was in our first week's episode, so I thought it would only be fitting that we'd share.
And now you fellas leave your girl with her friends, because it's 11:30 and the club is jumping.
Perhaps you can recognize that friendly, fun face in the front row. Mr. Tyson, thank you so much again for teaching us some golf. Well, I thought I'd be remiss if we talked about golf and celebrated National Golf Month, but didn't talk about a little bit of my own playtime. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 90 seconds of me attempting to hit a golf ball on the links here at Stone Mountain, Georgia. Well, if you couldn't see the smile on my face, that just meant I won the round and could sink the putt on 18 to take it all. So, Chris, appreciate you being a good sport. Appreciate you being a part of Camp Quarantine, and happy National Golf Month to all those out there. Get out there on the links, hit the driving range, hit Topgolf. Wonderful socially distant activity. So we appreciate all those who are sharing with us. Well, we're going to share the state of Nirvana here shortly, but I welcome back another guest who is doing some wonderful things, and I'd be remiss if I didn't have her share a little bit about her upcoming camp.
Hey, Amrit and Camp Quarantine family.
Hey.
I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations on 20 episodes. What? That's insane. I still remember way back when, right at the beginning, at the end of the world, when you approached me about coming on and playing, and it was just such a good time, and I really appreciated it. And you know, it's stuff like this that we just have to keep making more of, featuring creators and creatives and people who are putting good, beautiful stuff into the world. And so I really, really appreciate Camp Quarantine and everything that y'all have done, and all of the crazy cool creatives and artists that you have featured throughout these 20 shows. So well done to you. Like Amrit said, my name is Caroline Scruggs, and I am a musician, artist, creativity enthusiast, and I'm actually putting on a free virtual uke camp September 1st through 5th that I'm really excited about, and I asked Amrit if I could tell all of you good people about, hence the sign up for uke camp. And I think that he has the link for you to click through and see everything that it's all about. But essentially it is a camp for grown-ups, and it's basically 5 days of free ukulele lessons from yours truly, with a Q&A, a live Q&A session. Each lesson is at noon. It'll take about an hour of your day tops, and you don't have to do it live. So the lesson will stay up so that you can do it at your convenience if you are, say, I know we have at least one Australian camper so far. So you do it at your convenience. It's also a 5-day songwriting challenge, which I know that's kind of overwhelming to a lot of us, but you know what? I completely know and believe that you can write 5 little ditties in 5 days and we're all going to be doing it together. So we're all going to support each other on this crazy, cool adventure. And that's the third part of it, is just I wanted to create a safe, creative space for people to come and step outside of their comfort zone, learn something new, or work on their craft and work on the creative process. And that's really what the main point of Youth Camp is, to be able to help you harness your innate creativity and walk you through the process of what it's like and get those creative juices flowing in you so that you can then go and be motivated and inspired and go out into the world and just be a creative force, because we need more of that these days.
All right, Caroline, we are going to come right back to you because I want to have you perform for us. Excuse me. You have been on our show now a couple times, and we really, really appreciate it and always love finishing with your music. So we're going to do just that. But, folks, you know what time it is? The time many of you all who have been waiting for. It is time for the State of Nirvana. So last week, we talked a lot more about working on the back. We opened up, we had put in the reverse cam, we made everything black. Now, we had been waiting for some time, having help from Mr. Reggie of CrossFit Entertainment. A lot of friends have been helping out, but wanted to share a little bit more about what's been going on because we have been in a waiting pattern. Waiting for what, you might ask? Well, waiting for the hottest Christmas toy. No, I'm just kidding. For a van lifer, it's all about airflow. And in the back of that van, in 90 square feet, unless you're circulating air, well, it's a little bit difficult. So this week, my biggest thing was just that, waiting. All right. For more than 3 weeks now, since we got the van, I have been awaiting one product. One product, because the entire build counts on this product. Well, finally, after weeks of waiting, it has arrived. It has arrived. Max Air fans to go right here on top of this guy. Of course, the rain is now about to start and will for this weekend. So we'll try and work on it as we can, but the build is going to progress. We're going to have fans. We're going to have circulation. I couldn't be more excited. So big old smile on my face. We now have the Max Fan Deluxe. Supposedly it's the thing to get for your van. It's been back ordered because, as we had the young lady Sophie chat before, there are so many people that are joining the van life trend. So it has been back ordered, but finally it is here. If you're cutting a hole in the roof, though, rain doesn't help out, and I think that's in the forecast. So stay with us in upcoming weeks. We will be definitely keeping tabs on how to install that. We also have a few surprises coming up, but this week, that's not all we did. We also headed over to another local charity that I want to highlight because they're freaking incredible. The Life Cycle Building Center in Atlanta needs no other introduction.
Helping a local nonprofit that upcycles building supplies. It's the Life Cycle Building Center. It takes reusable building materials from demolition projects and construction projects and then redirects them right back into the community, thus upcycle, often at deep discounts and often at no charge. So when the organization bought a 100-year-old warehouse, J.E. Dunn Construction pitched in to help with the repairs.
Keep usable building materials from going to the landfill. Okay. So we actually go into buildings that are slated to be demolished or renovated, and we capture anything and everything that can be reused. We salvage a lot of wood product. The TV and film industry has been a huge part of that process. Okay. Historically, 20 to 25% of our material donations have been from TV and films. So our pricing structure has always been 50 to 85% off of retail. If the material's coming in the door and it's in really good shape, then if it's like new, we're actually going to cut at 50% of retail right away. And then if, maybe it's not perfect, it needs a little bit of TLC, then we're going to bump it down, even further to as much as 85%. So this week, we took a visit to the Life Cycle Building Center where they are safely social distancing. Thanks to the LBC. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much. Be safe, man. We'll catch you next time.
You too as well.
The folks there are beyond friendly, happy to help, and this week, if you mention Camp Quarantine and you go in there, lighting and sink are 25 to 50% off on top of their already reduced prices. So if you guys are doing any kind of construction, go take a look, make an appointment online, take a look at ATL LBC on Instagram, as well as look up the Life Cycle Building Center. If you're not in Atlanta, well, it might be worth, even just for the savings, to come down to the Southeast and take a look at their offerings. Again, we love highlighting unique nonprofits. That is the reason for the season and the reason behind Camp Quarantine. So that's what we've been up to on A State of Nirvana. Anyways, we're excited because we are really just going to be focusing now as we move into our, can you believe it, third season, if you count 10 episodes a season. So as we move into that, it's going to be a lot more about this build and highlighting some van lifers and unique ways to, live that lifestyle on the road, becoming minimalistic, a lot more building, a lot more helping, and that's really what we're about. So we really appreciate all of you here joining us for our 20th episode. Again, all of you guys, we would not be able to do this without all of y'all's support. If you'd like to support us more, support patreon.com/campq. We have all the videos about the build, time lapses, all kinds of things that we've been showing and not showing here and on our Instagram, all live there. So we encourage you to give us a follow. Well, we're going to round out today with, like I said, we're going to go back to our musical favorite, Miss Carolyn Scruggs. Caroline, you there? You ready for us? I think she's all set up here that I can see. Caroline, let's take a look.
Without further ado, please go check it out, sign up. Like I said, it's absolutely free, and I'm going to play you a song that I wrote one time in 1 hour during part of a songwriting challenge, so I can prove to you that it's possible. It's called Killer, and it's about some plants that I killed one time. Whoops. I'm also going to be playing the theremin on it, so you'll see a little bit of that magical instrument as well. So let's try it out, shall we? Let me take this down. All right. This is called Killer. Rise in the morning. First thing I see, shrouded in the sunlight, so lovely to me. Your faces are many, but they all look down. Something is wrong here. Oh, what have I done? I forgot to water you when you needed it most. Put you in an old pickle jar and just left you there to roast in the sun. Oh, she's my savior. She can play a killer too. And she in the water I forgot to give you, and me, we all killed you. God, I'm so sorry. What the hell can I say? I've been living in my head, wasting hours away. And I would have noticed I've been looking out. That you were thirsty. You needed my help. I forgot to water you when you needed it most. Put you in an old pickle jar and just left you here to roast in the sun. She's my savior. She can play a killer too. And she and the water I forgot to give you. And me, we all killed you. Yeah, she and the water I forgot to give you. And me, we all killed you. Yeah, she and the water I forgot to give you. And me, we all killed you.
Yeah.
Killer, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now you know me, you know what I do, you know what your job is. Don't forget to sign up for Uke Camp 2020. I would absolutely love to have you and your vibes there. And so again, thank you so much, Amrit, and congratulations on 20 shows.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you for joining us again and celebrating our 20th episode with us. We really appreciate all of our guests, all of our viewers. Don't forget, our next show will be our 21st on next Friday, August 28th. We'll have new progress on Nirvana. We'll have a whole slate of new guests, some new van life for some healthcare heroes. Of course, our Smart Business Spotlight and raising money for last week of our wonderful organization that we are partnering with, Charity Miles. So get out there this weekend, get out to the outdoors. This Tuesday happens to be the anniversary of the National Park Service, which means all the national parks are absolutely free. So I'm going to leave you guys with a clip on how the National Park Service came into being, but we'll see you back here next Friday, 7 o'clock for our 21st episode of Camp Quarantine. We thank all of you for being a part of this week's show. Appreciate you guys for staying and participating. Give us a follow and support us at patreon.com/campq. And without further ado, y'all be safe. Have a wonderful time this weekend. Enjoy time with your families and enjoy the great outdoors. Thank you so much for being a part of this week's Camp Quarantine. And now, the National Park.
They're yours, you know. You own them. Remember last year, the year before, and maybe the year before that. But remember, you were there, and if you haven't been, you should go. Enjoy what is yours. Protect and keep this great heritage. Your grandparents enjoyed some of them, and your grandchildren will enjoy more of them. For these are the national parks.
That's our show, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.